Sure. So, hi, I'm Ellen Wanjiru with blackfilm.com, and I'm talking with Carley Hughes, who stars in the forthcoming Lifetime movie Christmas Edition. Hi, Carley.
Hi, how are you?
Uh, like I said, I've been looking forward to this because I've really enjoyed this movie. It was so
Did you
special.
like it?
I loved it. It was such a wonderful escape. And you owned the heck out of your role as Jackie. Can I just say that?
Thank you so Yes, you can. Thank you so much. It was like a fast and furious shoot, in light of COVID and all the regulations and getting people in and out. And so, sometimes when you're working like at that pace, you're like, was that good? I hope it was good.
No, no, it was good. I felt like you just had like a super strong command of the screen, and just it was magical. And also, one of the things I love about Lifetime is, it's for their feel good movies, especially around
Exactly.
time. And this film is definitely one of them. What was it about this project that made you say, yes, I'm in, I want to do this?
Um, because it was Christmas
Right.
with a Christmas on top. Like I'm a Christmasaholic, a Christmas queen, like self
Mm,
glorified, self-titled. I just love that feeling that you get at that time of year, and I'm one of those human beings that carries that throughout the year. Like I will look forward to Christmas all year, but because of that excitement, I'm
right.
carrying that with me. And so I've always wanted to do a Christmas movie because one of the
Mm,
things that me and my mom do together at Christmas is watch all of these movies on
right.
Lifetime and Hallmark and all across, all over TV. So um to get offered this role was like, well, yeah. Also because I don't get to see my family this year because of the quarantine and the pandemic, and they're across the country, and there's no flying for any of us. So it will be like my mom can see me at Christmas, but just
Mm.
on TV.
That's special. And so it's interesting because your character, Jackie, she wasn't that connected to Christmas in the beginning, right? And she
Yeah, no.
kind of had to warm
She's like a
to it.
workaholic, and she's
Right.
always like, not that she hated it, because sometimes there are those movies where like, I hate Christmas. She didn't hate it. She was just kind of indifferent, like, it's weird that you guys celebrate this big. But inevitably she gets sucked in, which everyone does at Christmas.
Which we all did as the viewers. I mean, even if you're not a big Christmas fan, you cannot help but love Christmas watching this movie. And
Exactly.
I love that about it.
Everyone needs a smile. Everyone needs a smile, especially now.
Especially now. So there were so many qualities I admired about Jackie. I mean, most importantly, her belief in herself, and what she wanted to accomplish. She was warm, she was strong, she was determined, charismatic.
Oh,
How
thank
easy
you.
was it to connect with Jackie, and how was she relatable to you?
Yeah, you know what? She was actually really relatable to me because I'm a go-getter. I'm very independent. I've been on my own since I was 17. And my dad has, like, since I can remember, has always said to me, keep your focus and you'll get where you're supposed to be. And
Right.
sometimes that saying carried me over because there was nothing else left to do. Like, no money to be given, no solutions to be made. But it's like, and my dad would be like, well, just keep your focus and keep going. And that rang true with Jackie as well because there at the beginning, there's people telling her no, and you can't get this job and you can't get this promotion, and she's literally like, no, I'm gonna
Right.
go do it a different way. Sure.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
that drew me into her as well because I don't like to be told no, especially when I know more of myself. You know what I mean?
And that's what was so kind of special and relatable to me. I connected with that more than anything.
Yeah.
I really appreciated that the storyline, Jackie's storyline, was about career and love. And
Yeah.
oftentimes in life and in art, women have had to sacrifice one for the other.
Yeah.
It was really special to kind of see a healthy balance of both.
Yeah. That drew me in as well.
Yeah, so I'm curious, for women who seek both of these things at the same time, what advice would you have? Would you offer?
Listen, as my dad says, keep your focus. I mean, I feel like I always say what is meant for you is for you.
Yeah.
And that always kind of resonates in the career world because, as an actor, you're going and you're auditioning, and it's like I can audition and leave it in the room, and what's for me is for me. But that also, I think we often forget that it also goes towards your regular life. What is for you is going to be for you. So you can't force a job just like you can't force a relationship. If you're
Yeah.
going after your career up here, then you're going to meet someone who's going to meet you up here. Because
Mhm.
if you're trying to get in your own way, your career is going to be up here and something or someone's going to be down here, not on the level you need them to be to have both. So
So
I would
true.
say just keep your focus and trust that it's not about sacrificing one or the other. It's about compromise once they come together.
The operative word being compromise. Exactly.
I mean, I say that and I'm not in a relationship, but when I get one,
I'm right there with you. So I'm like, if you have some advice, teach me, Sensei.
I'm like,
Um,
keep my focus, keep my focus.
no, I subscribe to that fully. Just keep going. Like it will
Yep.
meet you where it's supposed to meet you when you're ready. So yeah.
Yeah. And I find in those moments too when I'm like, oh, I wish I had like a snuggle buddy or whatever. It's
Right.
like it's coming, and I try to shift my focus into focusing on. Oh, I just did an amazing Christmas movie at Christmas, and it's going to air soon, and I'm actually really excited about that. And trying, meaning not letting one thing cloud the other because it's not there yet. You know what I mean?
Totally. There were so many great life quotes in the film. Like I had my little notebook, like, ooh,
You
I
did. What
I
was your
did.
favorite?
My favorite was it's one thing to report about something, but it's quite another to live it. Because, that can be adapted into so many different scenarios.
It
Um,
is.
how does that resonate with you in your life, in your personal life?
Um, You know what? I mean, in various ways. It's one thing to talk about a job being hard, but it's another thing to actually have done the job. Like, I knew I've done Broadway. I did Broadway 15 years in New York, and 8 shows a week is hard.
Yeah.
But when I took over as leading player in Pippin, I didn't know what hard was until I
Ooh,
did that. So it was one thing to be like 8 shows a week is hard, blah blah, and then to do that role 8 shows a week, it was like, oh, don't talk about it, be about it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You have
So
to live these experiences, and same with current events. It's one thing to talk about injustice and differences and being an ally, and it's another thing to live it, live being an ally, live telling your truth, and live working on active change.
yeah.
So you're right, that motto extends over everything.
And other lines, you can't just be a bystander. You have to be a part of it. And the whole
Yeah.
idea of taking chances and stepping outside of your comfort zones. My God, I feel like every human can relate to
Yeah.
this.
And
And
every human needs to, we all need to be reminded. Like some people need to hear it for the first time, and some of us need to just every now and then be like, hey, hey.
exactly. One of my favorite parts was when you bust out in a song. I was like, wait a minute, what's happening? I rewinded that, I think 2 or 3
You
times just to hear it over and over and over again. Was that part of the original script, or was that something that was added?
It was part of the original script, I believe, of just like, I think of like humming to herself. And then once they found out, what I do, what I do and how I do, they were like,
Right.
and you're going to sing this
Okay.
out. And I
Okay.
believe it was originally in there in some way, shape, or form. And we just worked together to find, the right part of the song and all of that, just to like have a little snippet so people can do what you did. Like, wait a minute, what?
What just happened? Yeah. So now I'm like, I've already envisioned you in your next film, like singing through the whole thing. Like I put it out into the
Okay, put that out there.
it's happening.
I'll
You have
take
a
it.
beautiful, beautiful voice.
Thank you so much. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So the cast chemistry seemed so authentic. I feel like you
Yes.
guys have known each other for years. How
Yeah.
was it working with everybody?
It was amazing. It was
Yeah.
you don't often, just like in any end of, the business and any career, you don't get the pot of gold all the time.
Mhm.
So, you know what I mean? And you keep it moving and you're still doing your job. But in this instance, we all got along. Rob and I got along right away, goofy on and offset. Me and Aloma and that trio were instantly like we had been on a TV show together for like 5 seasons. We just had great chemistry. Everyone has good spirits. Everyone was very positive, especially again in light of COVID and everything going on. I think because of that, it actually brought us closer, because once we were there filming, we were quarantined and we only saw each other. So it gave us a special bond, and that played through on screen. But I was really lucky with this cast of having a cast of beautiful human beings.
Yeah. That definitely translated across to me.
Yeah.
Were there any challenges, just cinematic challenges or COVID challenges that just kind of, enriched this experience?
Yeah, I mean, like, this was I take quarantining seriously. Like, I'm not working right now, and so I'm still in the house. And so that was the first time I had left my house and my
Oh,
porch since March.
wow.
And we've shot it in August. So it was difficult for me on the anxiety side, but once I got there and got the lay of the land and realized we were quarantined and we were being tested, regularly, that helped calm me down and settle.
Sure.
But I mean, that was one of that and timing. It's, you always allot this amount of time to film or do whatever, but inevitably you're going to need like this amount of time, but you still have to squeeze it in here. So it brought up some challenges, but like regular challenges that come along with filming. So nothing, the only thing that was crazy was we're doing it, Christmas in the time of COVID.
Right. Like, the show must go on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so what did you enjoy most about this experience? Well, what was the most memorable part or process of this?
I just really enjoyed, because you don't always film in sequence, and I really enjoyed filming different pieces of the puzzle
Yeah.
and then watching them all come together.
Mhm.
Because ironically, on Broadway you go in sequence, and TV and film you don't, and that ironically connects you to your character more. Like, you have to be connected in order to do the last scene first, or the first scene last, or the middle scene up here. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I really enjoyed making these little magical Christmas pieces of a puzzle and then watching it all come together.
Yeah.
It really keeps you on your toes.
I enjoyed the love story.
Oh, I know. It was so sweet. And I really enjoyed that it wasn't like, as you said before, like, oh, I have to give up my job and because we're in love now.
Right.
It was like, no, I want to work. You're cute, but
I have stuff to do. I have dreams. I have goals.
yeah. And him, that character understanding and being like, you have to do it. Go do that.
Yeah, and leaving it up to you to make the decision, like the big decision at the end. That's not usually the norm. Usually the guy
Yeah.
is like, well, this is what it is, and this is how it has to
Yeah.
be. So,
Yeah. But sometimes, what, even in life, you catch more flies with honey. You'll
mhm.
get, a better outcome if you're not pressuring me. Because then I know I've made the decision myself.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Christmas
Yeah.
edition premieres November 15th, 8 p.m. on Lifetime. I will be watching it again with my mom and with my sisters. Um,
Yay, family.
that special, yes, it's that quintessential family Christmas movie. What do you want viewers to know that we haven't touched on, or you want to highlight? Little teaser
About the movie.
about the movie.
I mean, we touched on a little.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a surprise in one of the like um, a montage scene
Okay.
where, in a montage for those of you out there, it's like different scenes and snippets that happen without dialogue and music plays. So you have to keep your ear out for a song that may have a little someone on it.
That's exciting. Okay,
Yeah.
I am officially obsessed with you more so than I was in American Housewives.
I love you so much.
I'm officially obsessed, and I'm looking forward to what comes next. I think you're awesome, and thank
Thank you.
you.
You're awesome as well. You
You're-
kick butt. Thank you so much.
We are so thankful that you spoke to blackfilm.com, and enjoy the rest of your day, Carley.
Anytime. Happy holidays.
Likewise. Likewise.
Thank
Great talking
you.
to you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.